Hey guys, what I want to do next is make some visual effects. So when I click on the um, magic buttons, and then as I continue to do the things we just built on in the last episode, when I click on any particular magic, I want a visual effect to occur. So I want, for example, like the ground around him to give some sort of cool magical special effect. Um, so that's what we're going to work on next. And in order to do that, we're going to import some special effects, visual effects from FAB. And that also means we're going to finally get rid of these silly placeholders that I have because I realized I've been doing things incorrectly. These things are like a meme at this point, and I'm ready to replace them. So let's get started. First, I'm going to move these guys out of the way. And I'm going to start sharing. So what I did, just in case anyone runs into a similar issue, I don't think anyone will, but I have an Epic Games launcher. Maybe it's outdated, I'm not sure, but that was really the source of my problem. So throughout the years, I've downloaded a lot of free content packs and purchased things that I've been interested to use. And then when I started this series, 5.7 was just about brand new, like maybe a week or less old. So I had assumed the artists were just still updating, because when I go to add them to my project, it said it's not compatible with 5.7. That was my assumption, and now it's been like probably a month or so since we started the series, and I just thought that didn't sound correct. So if we go to the FAB library, we're going to add it to the project this way. What I want to actually, we're going to do a couple ways just for tutorial purposes. I was lucky enough to find at some point I downloaded this cool looking pack by Dragon Motion, Magic Circle Creator. Let's go ahead and give these a shot. I think these look perfect for what our use case is. I'm going to add it to the project. Now I hope, yep, look at that. How simple was that? I'm going to add to the project. So it's got good reviews. I already have it, so I'm not sure of the current price. Let's see. I would assume, based on prices of the other projects from this artist, probably in the $30 to $60 range, maybe a little less. So that was that simple. We clicked on Add to Project. Now let's go to Unreal. I don't know if we have to restart. Doesn't look like it. We have this here. This folder was not here before. I'm going to File, Save All. And we can start experimenting. So it looks like there's a level. So I guess before I really dive in to my game, I can kind of explain what you can expect to see in a lot of FAB content marketplace folders, just as something that can be in general. Most commonly, you'll find a blueprints folder, which has a lot of like the code and really the meat and potatoes of what you're looking for. So what I'm assuming is, I haven't opened this before, is we can probably add this guy to the level and then make modifications as necessary. That's my assumption without having looked at this before. The level is my favorite place to start. We'll open this in just a moment, and it'll take us to examples of how all of the content is used. So it looks like there's even learning rooms. That's really cool. Materials, this is where like all of the colors and special effects take place. I probably won't dive into this very much, at least anytime soon. Meshes are the shapes that are used. So just looking at the preview icons, like I can expect that some type of like base object is going to look like a tornado, like of this example. And there'll be lots of spheres and undercones like this. This is something that I'm particularly interested in for my turn-based game. Then we've got Niagara, which is a lot of cool effects. This is what I'm excited to try out. And then textures are more like colors and details kind of in used along with the materials. So that's the really short 30-second kind of what to expect when you're importing content. One thing that I want to do is probably rename this to be, or add a folder. I'm just going to name it like VFX. But one pain point that I have also ran into is renaming these folders can kind of duplicate it and make it ugly. I hope I don't run into that, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. So I'm going to name this VFX. And I hope I can move without copying. About to load. Are you sure you want to continue? Sure. Let's give it a shot. It's just about done. If I'm lucky, it'll move and disappear from this folder structure. I guess what I could have done is go to the File Explorer and do it. Maybe I should have done that. Oh, look. Cool. I got so lucky. Makes me a little nervous sometimes. I'm going to assume that it's going to work still. So that was one method to do. To recap, if you have the old Epic launcher, head to the FAB, add it to the project that way. You might run out of luck because I think that old Epic launcher is like discontinued. I'll bookmark this later. Hopefully I can tag them in YouTube and give thanks. There is one more that I want to go ahead and import so we can get rid of these placeholders. Let's try a different method though. In Edit Plugins, there's a FAB plugin. I can't remember if this is by default checked. If it's not, go ahead and check it, and then you'll probably be prompted to restart the engine. So go ahead and do that. So once you do that, click on the drop down for the quickly add to the project with the plus and cube icon, and then you can import content like from your files, or what I'm going to try this way is FAB. What I think this is like a built-in connector to FAB, so we're not using the Epic launcher or web browser. Maybe we do though. I've got to pop up in a new window and I can drag it here. Let's see what happens. I'm not sure if this is more smooth. I would imagine it's a little more slow. So far it's still loading. All right, we're in business. It wasn't too long of a lag. I want to continue to try it. So it looks like I'm logged in. I want to find my library. I'm not sure what icon that is. Maybe this one. Yep. And what I want to do, or start off with, is a Scorpion by Enhanced Studio. Give them a shout out too, if they don't mind. I'm going to add to a project. And it gets to the My Library after you've purchased or downloaded. Oh, cool. Didn't even have to select a project because I'm inside of the project that I want. That was really cool. It looks like my version control diversion alerts a new pop-up, something that I haven't seen before. Incoming updates from teammates are pending. Reload as soon as possible to reload conflicts. I'll just do what it recommends. Click reload, not quite sure. Something about importing directly from FAB recognizes that it came from an external source, not from me, and wants me to reload, whatever that means. I'm not sure. But I went ahead and clicked it, and it looks like nothing impacted too severely. Nothing at all, actually. So similar to the VFX, now I've got the stylized Scorpion. This is a character, so you'll see that some of the default folders or traditional folders a little different. We've got a demo map again, though. I think in this video I'll just open the levels just to kind of quickly see what they look like. But I want to create a new folder. Actually, I've got one for characters. I think I'm just going to keep that. So let's go to drag to characters. Before I do that, I'm going to save file, save all. Let's move this to characters. I like the name of that folder that started with the third person character template. Let's move, confirm. If we're lucky, we won't have a duplicate again. Are we lucky? Right now I have it here and here. I hope it refreshes. Otherwise, it's going to be interesting. One way worked as I hoped, and one way is still here. If anyone has any tips how to not make a duplicate, that would be great. I've looked it up before, but I forget at the moment. Okay, so let's start with the VFX. I'm going to open up the level, demo level. Let's save. Continue. Okay. It's not liking what I did with the move folder. Hopefully it clears out. All right, so this looks really cool. I hope these are like existing blueprints that I can just take as is. I imagine they are. So you can add extra particles. This looks really cool. I'll just take a walk down Magic Circle Lane. Looks awesome. Looks awesome. I'm going to try these out in the next episode. Looks so cool. All right, and then let's open up the demo level of the Scorpion characters. Scorpion. Oops, not blueprints. That's where I want to be mostly, but let's see what this demo level looks like. So that didn't turn out very well. So let's try the original. Nope. Okay. So I think I kind of messed up the, what's it called? Folder structure, but it's okay. It's my fault, not the author's. These all look really cool. So let me go back to my level. But here you can imagine these things would be doing their animations, different colors, materials. That would look awesome. So let's go to our map. And then we set these up to be data assets. So instead of a small... Okay, so let's go to our data assets. We have data tables. So in our blueprints that we set up way long ago, like in episode 3, we have data assets. I want to open up all of these. Let's start with our big guy. Instead of this silly arrow, we're going to have a scorpion. Okay. Probably because this type is Niagara default assets. Okay, let's see. It must be in here. Enemy mesh, static mesh. I'm gonna need probably an actor object. Enemy. Yeah, I couldn't select the scorpion because I had it as a static mesh. So let's type in enemy character. And I think it's gonna have to be an object. Yep. Let's make it instance editable. See if that helps any. I just want blueprint, not... maybe I make it character. Let's figure out what the scorpion is. Blueprints. Nope. Let's go to character. Oh, no. I have to go here. Blueprints. It's missing. Characters, Scorpion, blueprints. What is this thing? Character. Okay. So I hovered over it. I saw it's a character. So let me update this from object to character. And then we'll make it an object reference. Compile. Can exit the FAB. Now we have enemy character. Now I can go Scorpion. Nope. Okay. Has to be dragged onto the level or what? How would I? Blueprint, character. Okay. Parent class is a character as well. So what do you not like? Pawn? Tried character. Character DAP enemy characters. BP enemy character. Okay. I think that's actually looking better, but then now I go to my blueprints. Enemies. Okay. Now I can make my... Is this the parent? Yep. Parent class. Yep. So now let's just update this. Viewport instead of this funky mesh here. Sorry, I had to kind of remember how I set this up. Look at that. There we go. Okay. There's one. All right, cool. Now we're looking better. So the changes I was making here were not necessary. Sorry about that. I'm going to delete because we didn't use it. Medium enemy. We will also make this Scorpion, but we can change the material from black to orange. We got another guy, and then what do we have left? A small enemy. All right, I like this. I like this. Just Scorpion again. Compile. We did black. Let's do this green one. All right, now we have 3 of these guys. And these are all data assets. It's pretty cool. Much better than that Christmas tree we had forever. So I like those guys there. So much better looking. And I'm going to see if I can just quickly drag one of our VFX. Is there anything like... I was hoping there was something like out of the box I could just plug in real nicely. There probably is. Level. Materials, mesh. There's a learning room level. Just gonna see if I can do something. How's that look? Cool enough. Yep, I like the way that looks enough already. Let's just bring it up a little bit. Drag it on out. Push the N key to bring it to the floor. Push you back a little bit. Yeah, that'll be cool. So if we push play, Oh great, they have compiler errors. Okay, what does that happen? What's the problem here? Oh, these are all not happy. Um, that's okay. I'll fix all of that. But we've got something here going on. And I'm just going to have to re-upload and play with that a little bit. But looking a lot better. We're going to be making this so that the cure and the magic actions pop up as so different things pop up based on the button that's selected. All right. Thanks, everybody.